Keith, first of all, welcome to Waterford Football Club. Just how excited are you to be here?
Yeah, listen, it's an opportunity that came about very quickly. The senior management team at the football club were very impressive. We met on Tuesday and things developed very quickly, and I suppose I got a sense of how professional these guys were, what they want for the football club. Waterford has always been a club in Irish football that is full of history, has a proud footballing tradition, is a good footballing city, and there's always been a sense of Waterford is a big job in League of Ireland terms. It's like I said, for all those reasons, it's got lots of good things as a football club in terms of facilities. It's got a good training ground, it's got a good training base, state-of-the-art facilities here. So lots of things going for it in terms of performance, and it's a big club with big aspirations, big ambitions. So that appealed to me, and the impression that the management team, sporting director Jonathan Walters, dealing with the other guys, Will and Steve, very impressive, very ambitious for the football club, and they aligned with, I suppose, my vision for Waterford and for taking this job.
When you left your previous club, Bohemians, you said the next job has to be the right one. Do you think this is the right club for you?
I hope so. I hope there is a natural alignment in terms of our vision for the club. There is that shared vision. I mean, there's no doubt we want to try and get promotion. I think that's, there's no secret, and there's no trying to shy away from that. That's something that we've been tasked with. I think there's lots of other teams in the division that will be looking for that as well. So, primarily you come in and you try and stamp your authority in terms of what you want to try and do, in terms of how you want to play, your playing style, your principles of play, your philosophy and ideology, and try and impart that information as much as you possibly can to the players. And hopefully you can do that quickly, because you need to start climbing the table if we possibly can, picking up some points, but you don't get given anything in this league, and this is the thing that is that we have to understand as a football club, as a support base. That you have to earn everything that you get on the football pitch. You have to work hard, you have to earn the right to play, you have to win the basics of the game, the battles of the game, and do the basics well. And if you do that, you give yourself a platform to try and play. But one thing that I want to try and do with the team is to have an identity between the people on the terraces, the people that come in and pay their money, and the team that represents them on the pitch. And I've done that with my previous clubs, and that's something that I'd like to try and implement here, that we have that understanding and togetherness between the terraces and the players on the pitch.
Obviously we're at the training ground now, great facilities as you just mentioned. You've had your first training session with the players this morning. Just how was that for you?
Yeah, well, listen, some of the players I would have known, a lot of the players I would have known from their League of Ireland days, playing against them in the opposition dugout and what have you. Some of the players I would have worked with at other clubs, and some of the players are new to me. So the dynamic of the dressing room is quite young, and the profile of the players is very young. There's not a huge amount of necessarily league experience in there. The balance of the squad will probably need to be looked at, in the midterm. But for now, the group, they're young men. They want to play football. It's what they enjoy to do. So I'm going to ask them to enjoy playing football for this football club and do their best. And that's what we'll try and do. And first impressions are good. The facilities are excellent. Some good players in the squad. Like I said, a little bit young. Ronan Coughlin, I think, is probably one of the most senior players in the squad. Eddie Nolan, at 34, is one of the most senior players in the squad. Outside of that, there's Killian Campbell has been around a little bit. Outside of that, a lot of the players are quite young. So it's to try and help them as much as we possibly can to achieve what we want to try and achieve.
Obviously, first game's on Friday against Finn Harps. How tough is it for a manager to come in with such short notice from a game perspective to put your identity on a team?
Well, it's probably almost impossible to put it on the team straight away. So I come in on match day -1. So we play tomorrow, and so you rely upon the people that are here. So Brian Murphy has had the team this week, along with Gary Hunt and David Breen. So you rely upon their experience, their exposure to the players, because they've been with the players, since pre-season. So they have a better understanding of the personalities and the attributes of each player. So I'll listen to them and respect their opinion, but obviously as well, we want to try and get off to a winning start, and you have to try and do your best to try and help the team. So, and that's what we'll try and do, to come in, put in a good performance tomorrow night. If we do that, we give ourselves a great chance.
Just on the game on Friday, what are you expecting from Finn Harps? They'll be coming here, won't they, to try and spoil a bit of a party?
Yeah, there's no doubt. Like Waterford would be, if you look at the start of the season, expectations would have been high. Galway have had a fantastic start to the season. They've won every game so far. Waterford, ourselves, have been, 1-2, drawn 2, lost 1. So it's been a little bit of an indifferent start. It hasn't been, a disastrous start by any means, but we want to try and, put a sequence of results and performances together. Finn Harps will rightly come to the RSC with optimism. I think they're unbeaten in their last 4 games themselves. They've got a new manager trying to put his stamp on things, and it will take time to embed those, the style of play and ideas and implement that style. So they're still coming to terms with what they're trying to achieve, but we'll be focused on us. We'll try and look at the areas where we can identify it, and have identified, the boys have identified where we can possibly get after the opposition, get some joy, and try and implement our quality on the game, and win the game if we possibly can, because that's what we want. But ultimately, for me as a coach, whilst the task is always to try and win, performance, get a level of performance, and that will naturally follow. Finn Harps will not roll over. They'll come here determined. They'll come here because it's one of the best stadiums in the division, looking to play football, and with expectation and hope themselves. So we've got to make sure that we get after the game from minute 1, and don't let go of the game from minute 1 to 90 plus.
The fans, I've been here a few times, the fans have been excellent on every occasion. If you're going to get promoted, you need your home matches or home stadium to be a fortress for teams to come to. How important are the fans going to be for the rest of the season? Well,
they are the lifeblood of the club. The club will not exist in the community without the supporters and the fan base coming through, paying their hard-earned cash, and they're going to be vital if we're going to achieve what we all want, and that's promotion at the end of this season. So Waterford is a big club, has a big fan base, and it has huge potential as a football club, and we're here to try and tap into that potential, to maximise the potential if we possibly can, to get the people behind the team, to identify with the team and to support the team on Friday night. But we have to do it on the football pitch. We have to bring them with us, and if we do that, we'll have a great season.
Obviously, we spoke off camera about meeting the senior staff. You've met the chairman, Andy Pilley. What's he said to you?
I'm very enthusiastic. Very committed to the Waterford project. I don't like using necessarily that word. I think he was very clear in terms of wanting me to come to the club and enticing me to the club as manager, and that was important to me. The sporting director John Waters also, Steve and Will, everybody on that senior team made me feel like I was the outstanding candidate for them, and they wanted me to come in to try and help them with the football club, to have the knowledge of the league, experience around football in this country for a long time, and I think I can help them in this journey that we're on and we're embarking upon now. So Andy was very enthusiastic, very infectious on our Zoom call, so I virtually have met him. I will meet him tomorrow at our media event tomorrow. So I can't wait to do so. His track record at Fleetwood is amazing. You know what he's done there. You know, the opportunity to work with the expertise and resources and the high quality people and personnel that are at a club like Fleetwood is important to me as a manager, and was a factor in my decision to come to Waterford. You know, but we got to work together. My job is Waterford FC, to try and get the best out of Waterford FC, to try and connect some of the dots. And bring people together, bring the team together. You know, can I create a system for academy players, for young players to transition into the first team? All those type of things are probably for the midterm. Initially, we want to try and get over Friday, you know, see where that takes us, and get into work proper next week with the players.
You took the words out of my mouth then, togetherness, in terms of everyone obviously coming together for that one end goal, which is promotion to the Irish Premier Division. How important for you is it, that togetherness, so that the staff, players, community, fan base are all one together?
Absolutely. Listen, you can't do anything in isolation. You can't do things in separate silos. Working in, you know, you know, we got to bring everybody together, and I think the club have gone some ways towards that in recent years. You know, under the ownership, the current ownership. So. There's exciting times ahead. Our job is to live up to it on the football pitch and get supporters excited about coming to watch their team play on a Friday night.